This is the hood release cable for a 2005 Toyota Corolla. The number is 912-065. You can see the end of the unit has plastic clips to hold the unit in place. Here is the internal hood release handle. You'll notice it's stuck open, and underneath you'll see this piece here. When you pull it towards you or away from the front of the car and you pull on the handle, it effectively slides out. In other words, the plastic that the screwdriver is touching right now is basically a little locking mechanism. Once you pull it out, it will then allow the cable handle mechanism to slide forward. So this is now the handle mechanism pulled out. Again, just by pulling down, you'll notice that this item over here goes up and down, and that's controlled by the item that the screwdriver was under. Okay, so this is the hood release latch. We will be removing that shortly. There's two bolts, one on each side. Simply remove those, and you'll see the cable is connected down into their things. And you'll notice that the cable wraps around, and ultimately, it's very hard to see in here, but you're going to find that the cable actually runs, and I'll move it a little bit if I can. See that? Okay, basically what happens is that cable ends up going in underneath through the actual fender itself. And so you're going to find that if you remove, I'm not sure that you're really going to need to, but if you remove this, you'll see the cables, or the cable coming out from the engine compartment, up through that little bracket, up through another bracket, then ultimately goes back in underneath into where the gas pedal and all that type of stuff. So you can kind of see the end of the wire there goes in, and that's about the best you're going to be able to see there. So the concept then is to disconnect the cable from the latch, connect a wire to the end of the cable, thread or pull the cable actually back through into the dash area, and as it's doing it, it's going to pull the cable, or the wire, and then that wire is going to be used to basically reverse the process. So it goes from there through the fender and up and under into the actual latch, or latch hand. So again, we're going to remove the actual latch mechanism itself, and it's a 10mm bolt on both sides. As it turns out, there is another bolt underneath the latch mechanism. You can see where the wrench is connected, so that has to come out as well. Again, it's a 10mm. There's also a piece of plastic that covers kind of more the section where the cable goes in, and when you remove it, which is generally just a couple of clips that are down, there's actually a screw, a bolt at the end. You can use a screwdriver that has a screwdriver end. You can remove that, and then remove the piece of plastic, and you'll notice all the wiring harnesses that are included in there. And from there you can see see the cable moving and pulling the end of the handle, and you'll see where it goes up into that section right up over there, and that's the section that has the rubber or plastic end to it, and that's what connects in to keep moisture out of the car. Now here's the latch itself. You'll notice the end of the cable and how it connects in. There's a little ball at the very end of the cable, and then there's the grayish connector that attaches to the actual latch. That'll end up sliding out, and the ball will end up sliding out of its mechanism as well. So you go ahead and release the cable from the latch. Okay, so now you can see the end with the ball and then the plastic piece. And you'll notice where it actually came from. There was the connecting portion of the latch, and it connected into that mechanism right before the spring there, so the ball goes into that. Now the whole point is to go ahead and connect a wire to the ball so you can feed or pull the cable back through the car, which will then end up pulling the wire, which you'll then use to reverse the process. Now you'll see I've connected some wire at the end of the ball. That's just a continuous piece of wire, and that will then be used to pull the cable back again. So now you can see the wire is being pulled through, only about halfway through at this point. And so now you'll see the wire is now pulled through or into the driver's area. Okay, so here's the two cables. The one with the tan handle is the one that was just pulled out. The one with the black handle is new. And you'll see they're basically the same. Now, because of the color difference, I will end up changing the handles so that they are consistent, and I'll show that in just a second. Well, the first step is, if you can, try to order the correct color. Assuming that the spring mechanism is still working okay, then the easiest way to remove and connect the handle to the wire is as follows. Just open up the unit and you'll see a section where the wire can just fit in. You notice that little item fits down, and then towards the side there's a wire. You can go ahead and put that in, and that's now connected. Here is the new cable with the old handle attached. Now here is the new cable with the wire attached and ready to be pulled back through. Now you notice the cable has now been pulled through with the wire all the way from where it was before, and the handle still has to be attached. So now you can see we've attached the cable into the mechanism inside the latch as well as to the side. Okay, so now it's connecting the handle, and you notice the kind of configuration on the back. There's two prongs at the bottom, one prong at the top, and it will be going into this. So basically what you want to do is just slide it down towards the front of the car and then clasp the back two, the white hooks, into the plastic and then pull forward. Then you should hear a little lock. So it is now installed and goes back and forth without any problem. Now it is installing the plastic piece. This is after putting the plastic back in the clips and screwing back the bolt. Okay, so here's the hood closed. Notice the handle went back. The hood is unlatched. Voila. And the last thing to do is to reinstall the wheel well with the plastic snaps, and you're all done.